I saw this and I was curious as to like what your guys' thoughts are. It's about Steve and it's about the rule set and about the LumiRank. People are talking about like legalizing or banning Steve and whether or not those tournaments should count the same for the rankings. That's what this tweet is about. I actually haven't even read it all the way through yet. I don't know. Yeah, this is a lot of words. I'm not excited to read all these words. Last time you heard from us regarding this topic, we said we would be back early October with the decision. Apologies for the delay as the process took longer than expected. Steve banned events will be counted for the 2024 season and will be weighed the same as Steve legal events. Here's how we got to this decision. I have like two very specific thought processes with like Steve banned tournaments. I think it's dumb. Not everyone and all the top players are going to be there. And can you really consider yourself like one of the best players in the world if you don't beat all the really good players? You know what I mean? Like on a personal level, are you okay with that? Like a Cola, the best player in the world because his character was banned. Are you really the best player in the world? You get what I mean? And maybe this is kind of a stretch. You guys can tell me how you feel about it. We already go to a bunch of tournaments where the rule sets are not the same. And I'm talking about the stages. There's so many tournaments where it's like 3 bans or 2 bans or Lilat's here or Yoshi Story's here now. You know what I mean? Like 7 minutes versus 8-minute timers, stuff like that. We already play in an environment where like the rules are not always the same and we count them all the same. However, can you weigh that the same as like a Steve ban tournament? Like different rule set, like in terms of stage and time, an entire character's banned, you know what I mean? Like it looks like this, you know, having a universal stage list would be way doper than a Steve band. I feel like we just need to like talk about stages first, but I have a video with Void about that I had talked about back then. But let's continue reading. We invited numerous top players and TOs to a private Discord. How come I wasn't invited to this? I didn't get a say? Are you kidding me? To be fair, I don't even think, I think I would have ignored them. I think I would have just been like, you're good. My top player is now a full-time content creator. All right, I have a better opinion than probably most people in that. Anyway, okay, to a private Discord to discuss the current handling of these events and Steve in general. After the discussion phase, a panel of 50 head TOs was formed. The representation from scenes across the globe. The LumiRank team itself had no say in the voting process. All votes were solely from the TOs. We adopted a similar voting system. Who? That's that Lord of the Rings character, right? Smogon? This is definitely like a D's Nuts layout. Smogon these nuts. We adopted a similar voting system Smogon has used before, with 2 phases of voting. With phase 1, the first phase, sorry guys, I'm low-key dyslexic. First phase had numerous statements the TOs voted on regarding how much they agree or disagree with said statement. These statements were an even mix regarding pro-legal, pro-ban, and coexistence stances. And any above a 60% majority of agreement would move on to the final round. Both should count and full global stance on Steve legality, faced off in the final round, with both should count winning the final vote. Both legal and banned events being weighted the same was the most popular option during voting on how to handle tiering these events. Due to the ever-changing meta and how close in number the final vote turned out, we will be revisiting this decision and reconvening the panel in March 2024 to determine the stance of Season 2. More time and a system in place. We are hoping to have a stance regarding the future out earlier for you all 2024 Season 2. Why would a TL willingly vote for their tournament to be weighted less? Yeah, that's kinda how I felt about that. That's my first thing, right? Is that like even with all the TOs, it's still a kind of biased standpoint. And even if you take the player's side, it's still a biased standpoint. And if you take the spectator's side, it's still a biased standpoint. No matter how you run this poll, it's always going to be biased. It's kind of the thing. I don't know. Who would you value more? Whose opinion would you value more? The TO who wants their tournament to be weighed more so that they can convince top players to fly out? Or the player who doesn't want to play against Steve so that he can be ranked higher? You know, there's personal gain on both ends. It's hard to say which opinion you should value more. Since the core of the issue is banning Steve or not, I feel like top players' opinions should be taken more seriously than a TO's, right? Because they're the literal professionals when it comes to this stuff. That's my opinion. I don't think it's by like a huge margin or anything. I think we should consider both. Dad Cloud agrees, guys. That's it. That's the whole video. Bye. We really do need just one person to have total control. I'm so down at this point. Any form of unity, I'll take at this point. I refuse to believe that we're ever going to have any form of unified rule set. Not in the next Smash game, not in the one after that. I don't even know who to blame. TOs just want to be quirky and unique. I think I also naturally want to lean more towards like counting tournaments that don't ban Steve, because that's what we've been doing this whole time. It's what we've done since Smash 4. We've never banned a character, you know, like globally banned a character or anything. I think, I don't know. I don't think it should count for the global rank. I think it's dumb. Say we go through both tournaments count the same. There's like 10 tournaments. Half of them are Steve legal, half of them are not. Cola wins all the Steve legal ones, and then Spargo wins all the Steve illegal ones. But Spargo would get ranked higher because more people went to one rather than the other. Or actually, no, I think the alternative would be true, because more people would probably go to the one that Steve's not banned at, because there's one more top 10 player there. If you're a Cola and you don't go to the tournaments that have Steve banned, it actively hurts your rankings. Sounds perfect. The rankings would be so confusing. That's what I'm talking about. It's just so dumb. We're gonna count them all the same. Are you in that Discord? Nope. Maybe because they know my opinion. Maybe they want Steve banned so that their players can do better. See, now we're playing the long game. Oh, maybe Luminosity's gonna ban, they're gonna count them the same so that their players start doing better at tournaments and their players are ranked higher so they can get more sponsors and I can get more subs. Subscribe to the channel today. Would you rather the entirety of NA ban Steve than this divide? I am definitely of the opinion that if we're gonna ban, like, there's one or the other. It's black and white. You either have all events banned or no events banned. And if you can't reach that, like, in between, then, like, as the rankings, you have to be like, your tournaments don't count and your tournaments do. Because it, like, having this mismatch is just stupid. If a majority of events are Steve banned, Akola, the actual best player in the world, will not be ranked the best in the world, because he can't go to all the tournaments. If we kind of like, we just remove the scope of Smash Brothers and look at something completely different. If this was like, imagine if this was Street Fighter and people were like, oh, we need to ban Ken. He's broken. He's ridiculous. He's overpowered. There's nothing we could do about it. The top players, all of like the top Ken players would be like, yeah, Ken is broken. Ken is banned. I'm picking up another character. Like Capcom, for example. They'll see that Ken is banned and they're like, oh, word? We're gonna fix him because we don't want like our character to be banned. Yeah, I mean, I think because it's specifically Nintendo, they might not touch the game. I think if we banned him off rip, maybe. That's my whole take on it. I think that it's really dumb that now Steve banned and Steve unbanned events, they're gonna count the same. It's just not. The next, like the season 1 LumiRank rankings are going to be kind of skewed this way. And I don't even think there's a lot of tournaments that have Steve banned, which is good. I think it's like, let's make moves and like maybe that's it. That's the only one I really know. There's probably more. So it won't affect too much, but the fact that that's even a thing is dumb. We shouldn't, I think the main takeaway here is they shouldn't count the same, and we need to ask players, not just TOs, and not just TOs that LumiRank picks. Like I said, regardless, there's going to be some bias no matter which source you take from, so take what you can get. That's my whole rant. What do you guys think in the comments? Should Steve ban tournaments and Steve not ban tournaments count the same? Comment below while you're down there. Like, comment, subscribe. Ding the bell. Oh, I'm such a YouTuber, guys. Wow.